Welcome back to Let's Read Judge Dredd. Today's episode is the Cal Files. Here we go. Mega City 1. Judge Jura Edgar has been head of the Justice Department's Public Surveillance Unit for the past 17 years. Edgar joined the unit after a bullet left her confined to a hover chair and rapidly rose through the ranks. She's always scorned prostheses and it is an unnecessary distraction. She is a workaholic and a martinet. Her staff have been known to refer to her as J. Edgar Hoover, though never within her earshot. The business of Public Surveillance Unit is information, specifically on the public, you and me. There is a file on every citizen, each file continually updated, cross-referenced, scrutinized, the minutiae of your life from birth to death. They've got your family history, your med, your reports, your work, your welfare records. Every purchase, every card transaction is in your file. They can tell where you shop, what you eat for breakfast, and what your U-front size you wear. Show up on any surveillance camera anywhere in the city, and the computers automatically ID you and log your movements. They know your political, sexual, and social orientation. They know where you've been and who your friends are. They know your virtues and your vices, and they are prepared to use it all against you. Looking for a short-sighted tap merchant with a size 9 shoes and a passion for Vi magazines? PSU can turn up 12 possibilities in an instant. Turn up sporting a Sump 3-piece when you're pulling a $2.99 a week welfare. PSU will be sending a judge round to check it out. Show up in the crowd at any demonstration and you'll be down as a possible subversive. If information is power, then Jura Edgar is the most powerful judge in Mega City 1, but she doesn't like to share that power. From her offices in the new Statue of Judgment, she casts her long shadow out over the whole city. Judge Dredd to see you, man. Show him in and leave us. My apologies for dragging you away, Dredd. I need a judge I can trust to carry out an investigation, a very delicate matter. We've moved to these offices this morning. During the move, certain of my files were tampered with. Private files. I believe a copy has been made. One of the judges supervising the move, Landell, disappeared shortly afterwards. I've had others questioned. I'm certain they know nothing. Landell's body was found an hour ago in the waste ground in Sector 111, shot from close range. Now you know why. What's in these files? That is something you do not need to know. You'll understand their importance if I tell you they once belonged to Cal. Note, Cal, former city judge whose insane reign of terror brought the whole city close to destruction. Should their contents be known, it could be very damaging to the whole Justice Department. I'm relying on you to see that doesn't happen. I've told no one else about this. You'll report directly to me. The case judge is Moy. I've arranged for him to meet you at the scene. Interesting. What secrets are so sensitive that even I'm left out of the loop? PSU surveillance cams picked up Landell. PSU surveillance cams picked Landell up leaving the Grand Hall at 7:44 last one. 2 blocks away on Punt Street. Had him at 8:01. A passerby noticed the body and called in 9 minutes later. Apart from that, I've got nothing. No witnesses, no traces. He drove straight here, like he was meeting someone with the file. Was meeting with someone. Did you check his file? SJS put a hold on it. It's a possible corruption investigation. They want to handle it themselves. Editor note, SJS, Special Judicial Squad, the judges who judge the judges. That'll be all, Moy. I'll take things from here. But, I said that'll be all. Randall was shot from close range. The killer would have been heavily splattered with blood, yet no traces of it leading away from the scene. Killer must have removed blood-stained clothing and carried it. He must have had an escape vehicle waiting, probably driver. Not here, too close. Leak from a spectromatic. That would fit. Complete color change from within 3 seconds. So, it's the getaway car of choice.
Dredd, this is Edgar. I have Randall's records.
SJS give you any trouble?
They know better.
Until 2 months ago, Randall was a street judge working out of Sector 54. It was felt he was becoming overly familiar with the criminal element, and he was seconded to works. Landell took it badly. His psychological profile showed signs of severe dissatisfaction. He was up for review next week. It was most unlikely he would have gotten through.
So he thought he'd get at the department first. Run this through your records. We're looking for 2 people, maybe more. One with enough connections to move something as big as stolen files. That suggests previous form. Landell worked out of the 54th, so we can assume our man has strong links with that sector.
Too wide, Dredd. I can give you 1,000 possible suspects. One of them may have a bad gum habit. Preference for rad mint flavor, squiggly, buys it in multiple packs.
That's better, hold on.
I think we may have him. Name Kindo Jose Robert. Jose Walter, I don't know how I read that Robert. Apparently I'm retarded. Kindo runs an import-export business at 197483 Short Sked Street. He acts as a middleman, but he'll dabble in anything. Brother Samuel runs the Year Crate Bar in Sector 54, a known criminal hunt. Kendo's card report receipts show 18 separate purchases of squiggly multi-packs this year, all Radmint. Creeps just chewed himself into a cube. Crash! I don't care how bent Landell was, he was still a judge. You're gonna pay, Kindo. Truck. You're too late. He's gone. He got greedy, wanted it all to himself. When that file gets out, it'll blow Justice Department wide open. You're all finished. Who? Kanda died without naming his accomplice. He would have we could have a post-mortem size scan of his brain.
No, this is sensitive. We'll have to make do with what you've got.
Okay, run this through your records, Edgar. By the positioning and angle of the knife, I'd say that Kindo's killer was left-handed, probably a lot taller than Kindo.
That narrows it down.
Hair, long, black, turning gray, slicked with a gel, probably Maxena or Simpline. Drinks old spleen with a touch of citrus. This is
excellent, Dredd. As good as a collie card. Hold on.
Name of Chaz William Alva, small-time muscle, three previous known associate of Kindo. Chaz drinks at the Callus Pharma on Otley, straight spleen and Limux man. Uses a cheap own brand hair gel, similar formulation to Simpline. Chaz drives a 2112 Ecoda, registered EX 59298-52, last sighted by surveillance cam at Skidway Intersect 1008. That's 5
That's 5 minutes too long. Another camera should have picked him up. He stopped.
I could use a few more helmets on this, Edgar.
Negative. Contents of those files could be extremely damaging to the Justice Department. No one else must know about them. You will find them and return them unexamined. I trust I make myself absolutely clear.
At the intersection. No sign of Chaz's vehicle here. Best bet is to check known underworld hangouts. We'll start with the club at Aggresso. We struck lucky. Wait, what? Oh, we struck lucky, Edgar. Chaz's car is parked right outside the club. Manager Vincent Pegg, you'll have a nice fat file on him. Done terms for receiving assault and battery, and steroid abuse. We've been trying to put the big one on him for a long time. You just wasted a judge and you come here? Are you out of your mind, Chaz? I wasn't followed, Mr. Pegg. There's no way they could have got on to me. You gotta look at this, Judge. Look at this. Judge Cal's secret files. It's got the goods on all of them. It's high X. I tell you, high X. Okay, let me see. No, not till I get my money. I want 100 thou at least. Best if I don't announce my presence. Get on to the local sector house, Edgar. Have them disconnect the cube's alarm system. Alarm system nullified. You should have the floor plan now. Confirm. I have it. Get real, Chaz. How do you expect me to buy something if I ain't seen it? But... See, you don't want to cause me no trouble. You know how all them steroids go to my temper. You don't want to see me rage in a raging temper, do you? No, but... Then give me that frickin' thing. Chang. Edgar's not one to exaggerate. What information can Cal have gathered that could hurt us so badly? Could that madman work his evil on us from beyond the grave? Maybe you got something here, after all, Chaz. How does 5 thou and life membership to the Club Aggresso sound? You dirty twister! You don't get squat for 5,000.
Drop it.
Crash.
Oh, crash. Drop it. Bam. You want some of the same, fat man?
Nobody calls me fat. It's all muscle.
Including your brain. Kazuk.
Now you really got me mad.
Smack. Wonk.
Oof.
Creep, you just added assault to your list. Not that you're gonna notice. Whack! By the time the sentences on that one start ticking, you'll be too old to count. Clonk.
And we have top secret, no unauthorized access under severest penalties by order of Judge Cal. Dredd returns the files to the public surveillance unit.
Your secrets are safe, Edgar. Chaz and Kaido are dead. Peck didn't get any further than the opening credits.
And what about you, Dredd? Considering what's in this, it must have been a temptation to examine it.
It was. I didn't. Satisfied?
Yes. Thank you, Dredd. You've been a great help. That will be all.
No, I didn't examine it, Edgar. But I did take the precaution of making a copy.
Wait a minute. What? Okay. Something was wrong.
Crunch.
Suspicion hit him when he left the offices of PSU, an unnecessary feeling that he was missing something.
Zuck.
Something Edgar had said. He couldn't put his finger on it. Considering what's in this, it must have been a great temptation to examine it.
I didn't.
Thank you, Dredd. You've been a great help. That will be all. Old Lady Liberty now stood in the shadows of the Statue of Judgment.
Message from Control, ma'am. Dredd is booked off patrol, taking some personal time. You asked to be notified.
Thank you. The answer to Dredd's unease came as he rode to his private apartment. Not something Edgar had said, something she didn't say. She didn't
ask if I made a copy. Edgar wouldn't have missed that. She deliberately didn't ask. She wanted him to know what was in the Cal files. I wonder why.
And again, top secret, no unauthorized access under severest penalties by order of Judge Cal.
Hello, Cal, you cunning devil. At least I hope it's me. If not, then somebody's going to get their head pulverized. What are you doing in my files, you sniveling little worm?
The madman's voice conjured visions of his insane reign when the city had been brought to the brink of destruction. Thankfully, but a distant memory now. Could Cal reach out from beyond the grave?
I'm quite exercised by all of that. Right to business. Here it is, the roll of dishonor, evidence on all our nasty little judges, in which we can use to smear and subvert and control them. Enjoy. These must have been compiled while Cal was head of SJS. The Judge Watchers, even back then he had ambitions.
Files on judges gone, long gone. Swaths of names whose funerals he had attended, whose scattered remains had long ago been bagged and recycled. Whose shattered remains had long ago been bagged and recycled. Astonishing how high the mortality rate had been over the years, yet some had survived. The chief judge. Volt was a young street judge when he attended the mugging scene during which the perpetrator was shot dead. Volt's report said self-defense. On screen, a shadowy video now flickered into life.
The geek dropped his laser and raised his hands, but the judge shot him anyway. He was like out of control. Volt? Yeah, that was his name. It wasn't an arrest, man. It was an execution. The SJS took no action. No report was filed. Cal saved the information for his personal use, and Volt stands condemned without a chance to defend himself. If it's true, his position as chief judge would be untenable. Files on a score of youngbloods who had risen to authority, respected figures within the Justice Department. The past's guilty secrets coming back to haunt them. No wonder Cal was able to subvert so many. But why me? Why did Edgar want me to know? Dredd. We have Dozzle Cursed, Draper Ming. Dredd Joseph is selected. Dredd Rico. Drinkwater Solon. Driscoll David. And we have Fargo. Judge E. Fargo, my clone father. Details of a relationship with a female citizen. Pattern policies lasting over 2 years, during which Fargo used his offices to procure the woman preferment and other benefits. So the father of justice was touched by corruption too. If this is to be believed, what could this have to do with me? I was cloned from Fargo's tissue. I'm not responsible for his actions. Register of births, St. Peter Root Hospital. Mother's surname, Polars. Mother's forename, Addern. Address 209H. Mentor Apartments. This is really hard to read. City South, issue. Twins. The woman gave birth to twins. Data ident, Polders. Male 1, issue. Male, issue 1. Male, issue 2. DNA ident, Dredd Joseph. Dredd Rico. Issue 1, Joseph. Issue 2, Rico. That I'm not a clone. All these years I've been living a lie. I have a mother. Dredd had secretly made a copy of the Cal file stolen from Judge Edgar, head of the Public Surveillance Unit. Now, in the privacy of his apartment, the file makes a startling viewing. My own genetic code, a perfect match from one of Aaron Polar's sons. If Cal's files are to be believed, I have a mother. And Fargo, the great Chief Judge Fargo, is not my clone father, but a real father. Rico and I must have been taken from this woman and passed off as Fargo's clones to hide the judge's indiscretions. All these years I've believed that story. No, it's impossible. I've seen Fargo's genetic code. It's identical to mine. I must be his clone. Unless that's a sham too. The allegations against Volt are serious enough, but if this was true, it would shake the Justice Department foundations. Over 3,000 Polders currently reside in Megacity 1. None match the woman's age or profile.
Check DNA ident for possible genetic relation. Joseph Dredd to all subjects. Negative. No record of any Arden folders. Or any Arden folders, alive or dead. Ever. It proves nothing. So many records have been destroyed in the Apocalypse War. Lives of millions of the citizens swept away as if they'd never existed. If she could have died, changed her name, married, moved away. No way of knowing. Time and again, he scans the madman's file, searching for a clue, no matter how tenuous. He has to know the truth. Is this what Edgar wants? The truth? Is that why she allowed the files to fall into my hands? She's devious enough. She knows no one else will pursue this investigation with quite the same zeal. But a dead end is a dead end. Oh, but a dead end is a dead end. Even he can't conjure clues out of thin air. Perhaps out of cyberspace. Enlarge this area. Can you read that print? Affirmative. Subject recognized. Dredd is on his way to the Hall of Justice, man. He's requested access to the Apocalypse War Displaced Persons file, specifically on a Jane Doe 44. I can't tell who's talking. There was a lot of sad cases after the war. Memory loss was common. People's minds couldn't cope with everything. They just blanked it out. Unidentified females were all given the same name, Jane Doe, and a recognition number. Sooner or later, most of them regained their memory, returned to some kind of normal life. I'm surprised yours doesn't show up in the later records. Here's the reason. Dead. She was brought in babbling incoherently, minded completely gone. God knows what she'd been through. Throttled 2 days after she came in by a fellow DP. Whatever you want her for, the trail dried up a long time ago. Have you got her DNA on file? No point. It was no help in identifying her. All previous DNA files on citizenry got nuked on the first day. Fingerprints, that's all they took. That's the only reason you found her. Who was she? Name was Polders. Arden Polders. Was she important to something? I don't know. The DNA, huh? It's just that DP bodies were routinely sent to hospitals for transplant purposes. There was a huge demand after the war. Oh, crap. Wrong voice. It's just that DP bodies were routinely sent onto the hospitals for transplant purposes. There was a demand after the war. She was in DP Camp 12. That's where the Wheeler building stands now. The nearest hospital would have been, let's see, St. John McShane. St. John McShane. He's inquiring about organ transplant shortly after the war. Jane Doe 44. Judge Dredd, a pleasure to meet you again. Last time we spoke was during the war. I was with the resistance. I remember you, sir. You fought well. We could have done with more like you. Coming from you, I'm flattered. You've come a long way since then. I've been fortunate. Takes a lot more than luck to rise to the top of the city's largest multimedia corporation. You were wounded. Yes, right at the end, I nearly died if it hadn't been for the doctors. You underwent transplant surgery at the John McShane? Yes.
That's what I've come about. We're going to have a look at that spleen.
What? Galbraith agreed to the biopsy voluntarily? If anyone can be said to do anything voluntarily when Dredd's involved, quite. There'll be DNA testing that tissue, see that I get that result immediately. Ma'am. So the answer to the riddle is walking around inside K.K. Galbraith, and Polder's spleen. Extraordinary.
My thanks, Citizen Galbraith. Your cooperation is appreciated. You have my word you will not be troubled again. That's it?
That's it.
Strip of film, yet it might as well be the deadliest poison. The wrong answer, and it has all the power to destroy us. If Arden Polder's DNA code confirms Cal's accusations, if she is my mother, then everything I've been told has been a lie. And Fargo's incorruptibility, the rock upon which the whole justice system was built, is nothing more than a hollow sham. And this strip of film holds the answers.
Control to Dredd. Report to Chief Judge Volt immediately.
An answer I'm almost afraid to know. On my way.
Dredd did what? He had all the duplicates of Polder's DNA analysis destroyed and Scanalyzer wiped clean. Stood over it while the techs did it. So Dredd has the only copy. You can order a fresh biopsy. On K.K. Galbraith, we have already exercised our legal right, and I hardly think the president of Mega Media will voluntarily submit to a second procedure. That will be all. It's a pity the woman's organ went to Galbraith. My hands are tied. Dredd's seen to that. I tried to use him, and he's not a man who likes to be used. Perhaps if I'd been more honest with him. Habits of a lifetime. Get me Niles at SJS.
You probably know we've been having some problems at Sector House 301, Dredd. Our fault. More accurately, Magruder's. The sector's been used as a dumping ground for every judge who fouled up or didn't make the grade. Kind of a last chance saloon, except nobody ever got thrown out. Volt, the files make accusations against him too. Cal's poison reaching out from the grave to taint us all.
You seem distracted, Dredd.
Sorry, something in my mind, Chief Judge. Please continue.
I was saying, I sent Rohan in as a relief sector chief to kick a few butts into shape.
A good choice.
Rohan was shot and seriously wounded this morning. She is not expected to pull through.
That's sad news.
She was personally conducting a Viper bust, cut down by crossfire. There is a suspicion that junior officers with Rohan deliberately failed to provide support.
Then things have come to a sorry pass indeed.
If I could sweep them all out and start again, I would, but we're at 30% below strength as is. I know this is not your chosen role, and I assure you the appointment would only be temporary.
Sector House 301.
I suspect things are more badly wrong in 301 than we know about. I need somebody I can absolutely trust. If junior officers conspired against Rohan, I want them found and punished. I want the rest of them looking and acting like judges.
You make a persuasive case. Let me think about it.
Not for too long. Not for too long. The second deputy chief has taken charge now. but I'll need a new chief in there soon. So many things to think about. Volt was a good man. He was turning the city around. To track up the past now could do inestimable harm. And this, a mother he had never known, a lie that could destroy the Justice Department. So much safer not to know. Rowdy Yates block. This is where Dredd lives. SJS! Take this place apart. Step away from that terminal, Dredd. What's this about? Just a routine check to make sure you're keeping all your nose clean. You know the drill. Funny my number should come up now. I'm glad you see the humor of it. I have to do a strip search. Sure. Nothing?
No unauthorized files, no DNA code, no evidence of either on his terminal. Whatever you're looking for, Edgar, it's not there. As far as I'm concerned, Dredd commands the highest respect of any judge in this department. Don't ask me to do this again.
He's thwarted me at every turn. Man, this just arrived. It looks like it's in Dredd's hand. Leave me. And it says, with compliments, Dredd. Judge J. Edgar, Public Surveillance Unit, Internal. I knew I could rely on you, Dredd. I won't inform Sector House 301. I'm sure you'd prefer to do that yourself. That would be best. It will take me a couple of weeks to clear up my present caseload. I received this in the internal mail from you. I felt there was a chance it might be mislaid. Genetic code of subject Polders indicates strong familial connection with subject Joseph Dredd. Then it's true. Dredd's mother. Negative. Subjects are siblings. His sister? No, not Dredd's. Fargo's? That explains everything. The connection was innocent. It belonged to Cal. It contains allegations against a number of judges still within the department, yourself included. The evidence against Fargo I know to be false, designed to smear. No doubt much of the rest will prove to be the same. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm needed back on the streets. I have a job to do. All right. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join us again next time.